Hey everyone, sorry for not streaming the whole week, but I was really sick and I actually could just get up today. But I really wanted to show you some Arachas gameplay and actually made a deck out of it because Arachas Queen is back. The little change in the patch did a lot of good things to her. Also the meta supports her currently, so play her as long as you can, and for that I actually made the guide today. As always, we're going to look at the card and the deck list, going to look at the Mulligan, at the general gameplay plan, a little bit of the matchup analysis, and then I'm going to show you some example match. As always, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe down below. Also, would like to see more homecoming deck guides, and then I would say, let's get right into it. Let's start with the key cards of this deck. One of the key cards and also one of your big win conditions is Yennefer of Engelberg. Yennefer either damages all other units by 2 or boosts all other units by 2 as well. So depending if you play melee is damaging, ranged throw is boosting. All units also means the enemy units. So the idea is you try to get as much units on the board as possible. Like fill your board and then you play Yennefer on the range throw. Then it will get a big point boost on your side because the enemy doesn't have as much units as you do. So you will get more points, right? Also another option is if you have a lot of 1 point unit or 2 point units even. And Yennefer, well, 1 point unit is better. But you can also use the melee option then, because thanks to Arachas passive, your 1 point units will spawn again, while the enemy will get the full value of the damage boost of Yennefer. So if you want to have a win condition for this deck, Yennefer is one of the bigs for it. The second win condition is Cluster Worm. Cluster Worm destroys all units with 1 power. For each unit destroyed, it boosts itself by 2. So if you can fill your board with 1 point units and then you play Cluster Worm will boost by big times, while all little ones will come back onto the board because of Arachas Queen's passive. So if you can combine those in last round, you will get such a big point spike that the enemy will have a hard time to get around this. We can even take this farther though, because with Whispering Hillock, we can destroy an allied unit, then spawn and play base card with it. This means, for example, if you play against Nilfgaard and the enemy Peters your Cluster Worm, you don't care. You just play Whispering Hillock onto the Cluster Worm again, we'll get another Cluster Worm onto the board, and we'll eat all the 1 point units again, spawn them back on the board, but you get the big Cluster Worm again. The same is with Yennefer. If you boosted all units by 2, you just destroy Yennefer, she's only a 2 point body, and she will do the same thing again, while the Whispering Hillock also gives you another 1 point unit, because you destroy the unit, and Arachas passive will then spawn another 1 point unit onto that. So these are your 3 big cards. To further support the strategy, you want to get this 1 point units on the board. So for those we have, for example, Jermaine. Jermaine will spawn 4 1 point units in the form of cows, while he's also a 4 point body, which is pretty amazing. Other cards for that is Arachas Behemoth. He spawns to Arachas Thrones and summons them to this row and then boosts all other insectoids on this row by 1. He's not good for a Cluster Worm, but for example for a round where you have Yennefer, he's still pretty decent. And he can also help you, for example, in round 1, if you have a monster that is played already in round 1, to get you additional tempo, which may help you as well. Then other cards for that are, of course, for swarming the board, we have Witcher. Witches are more for the short-term boost in round 1, but if you have Witches in round 3, you can also use them to get more units on the board for your Yennefer. But the cards I actually wanted to show you is Monster Nest. Monster Nest spawns 4 Arachas thrown onto the board, and that's basically if you play 2 Monster Nests in round 3, you already have 8 little ones on the board, and that is already amazing for Cluster Worm. Also, you can use the passive, not passive, but the active of Arachas Queen to actually spawn and summon up to 3 more little ones, so that can help you for bigger Cluster Worm, but also for bigger Yennefer as well. So this is kind of your finisher. Then we have of course other cards, because you can't only play if you're finishing round. So what do we have here? We have Crones. Crones, every time you play Crones, it will increase the ability by the other ones, for example if Whispers damages an enemy by 2, if you played the other Crones before, it will be damaged by 4 or by 6. Brewers consumes an ally, and in actually our deck with Arachas Queen, this actually means every time you play Brewers, you also get another little 1 point Arachas thrown onto the board, which you can use for other cards as well. So Brewers is probably the best use in this deck in all other monster decks. And then we have Vivas, which boost an allied unit by 2, 4, or 6 respectively, depending how much Crones you play. So those cards you want to have in round 1 to really push into round 3. About the Witches I already talked. Then we have Griffin. Griffin is like an 8-point body, but before you can't play him if you don't destroy another unit off your board. So if you have like a little Arachas drone on the board, you can just play Griffin on it. You get an 8-point body, and the Arachas drone will respawn because thanks of the passive ability of our leader. You can also, like, if you really need to play Griffin, you can also use one of our like charges for the leader just to get like the Griffins onto the board. It's better than just to save the leader ability for a big Glusty Worm, which then gets removed in the end. So like, be sure like to use your charges wisely, and using a charge in round 1 can help you big times. Valt and Rider are basically 2 4-point bodies, but if you have the highest unit on the board, it will summon like another Valt and Rider from your deck, which helps with thinning, but also for tempo in round 1, or if the enemy tries to bleed you in round 2. Forktail has a lot of different cool applications in this deck. First of all, if you play Ancient Foglet, it will, like, if Ancient Foglet is a 1-point body, but if it will get destroyed, then we'll summon like a 5-point Ancient Foglet from the graveyard to your board. So playing Ancient Foglet and playing Forktail will result in a big point spike, and will also generate like additional Arachas drones because of the passive ability of our leader. So that is like why Forktail is good, but Forktail can also be good to set up the enemies, because if you have a lot of, let's say, like 3-point, like 3-power enemies on the board, and you play 2 Forktails, then there will be 1-point units which can be then eaten by Glusty Worm, for example, as well. Also, if the enemy like goes really tempo on you, like he plays witches, Roach comes out, and like, I don't know, you play against Caliga and they play discard stuff, then Forktail alone will get a lot of value because you will have way less unit on the board than the enemy does. So that's why Forktail is a good card. Then we have Wyvern. It's basically a filler card. It's like, it damages an enemy 2, can be useful to remove some stuff from your opponents, especially if you play against monsters, for example, and they have Drowners or Thrive units on the board. And it will also Thrive, which is nice. Drowner can help a lot against decks like me, for example, where they have like ranged lock units, and with Drowner you just move them onto the front row and you have no problem anymore. Also the Thrive, so can help you as well. And then we have Neckers. Neckers is also like just a filler card. Either you use them to get like another 2-point units to 1-point units on the board, or you actually use their Thrive ability, which is good as well. Neckers really depends on the matchup, so think if you want to play them or not. About the Mulligan. We already discussed that we have like 2 types of cards, like the late game round 3 cards and like the tempo cards. And what you really want to have in round 1 are your tempo cards. You want to have like Whispers, Brewers, Weavers. You want to have your Witches, you want to have Valt and Rider also to thin the deck. You want to have maybe Griffins, like spawn with an Arachas drone, get the Griffin out. Really try to tempo the enemy, because if they bleed you in round 2, you're gonna have a problem. So you want to have all those tempo cards out there. Maybe a Drowner. Depending on like which matchup you're playing, you want to have Drowners, you want to have a Necker stuff. If you succeeded in like playing round 1, like you go into round 3, then it's time to look for other cards. Already in round 2, you want to get the cards you want to have for a good round 3 setup, which means you want to have Jermaine, you want to have Yennefer, Glusty Worm, Whispering Hillock, and so on. In round 1 Mulligan, if you already have a lot of tempo like Witches, Valt and Rider, and Griffins or such, you can already keep cards like Jermaine, Yennefer, and so on, because the ability, like the likelihood that you get them in the round 3 Mulligan is like, So like the more cards you can save in round 1, the better, but don't save too many cards, because if the enemy really tries to play 2 the last cards, he would force you to play those cards, or you can't win round 1, and that's where then probably need to pass, and that's a bad idea. So always like think how long the enemy tries to play into the round, and if you manage to have like this push cards here and you get like ahead pretty quickly, then like you force the enemy out of the round quite early, so you can have more of those cards. So keep that in mind. About the gameplay plan. Around 1, like the first thing you wanna play in an optimal case is you wanna play 2 of your Foglets, and you wanna see what the enemy plays. If the enemy plays a lot of units, you want to follow up with Forktail immediately. If the enemy actually has like less units, like for example if he plays artifacts and stuff, you may want to switch to Brewers to consume those. But typically you play Foglet, you play Forktail, get the value out. Then you play your Witches, you play your Valt and Rider, and then you should be already quite ahead in tempo. If you then want to have like a short push, then you play Arachas drone from your leader into Griffins. But if you already knew that you were gonna have like a longer round, instead of like playing those quite early, you actually start with Neckers and Drowners, Wyvern and try to play via the Thrive units, like then afterwards you do like the Witches, and then only you go for Riders and so on. The good thing about this is if you play stuff like Neckers and Drowners, your Forktail will of course hit your own units, but since they're Thrive units, they actually will then get the value they lost through Forktail right back, because they will get damaged but then Thrive immediately. So if you want to fill up your board, you can also like use your Thrive units for that first. And in round 2, the question is, as I said, like you don't want to lose round 1, because if you do, the enemy will bleed you. If that happens, you actually may think of keeping the Witches, or maybe even keeping like the Valiant Rider, so you can push back in round 2, because like cards like Yennefer and like Glusty Worm won't be that good in round 3. If you are bleeded in round 2, also think of if you want to commit Yennefer or Glusty Worm, better Glusty Worm by the way, in round 2, because the enemy thinks, yeah, he got the value out, but then maybe you can even like save and go a card up because you put that much value out in round 2. And then round 3 is all about, like as I said, already said, like you start with some cards like you don't need that much, or you don't need much for the end condition, like everything which does not put 1 point units on the board. So you could, for example, start with Griffins if you still have one. You probably start with Forktails, Wyvern, and after the enemy you have played some cards, then you go with Sirius and you go with Charmaine. You then play your Monster Nests, or your Arachas Nest in this case, actually they called Monster Nest before, so Arachas Nests, and then you use all your remaining charges from your leader, get the Glusty Worm out, get the Yennefer out, and then play Whispering Hillock on, depending, like probably on Yennefer, that's like the best idea, like Whispering Hillock on Yennefer for double Yennefer, and then it should be fine. The biggest counter is Yrden, but Yrden is not played that much anymore since like Giants are not a big thing anymore. Also like Yrden got nerfed, so you should be kind of safe in like if you kill, like if they, as I said, reset your Glusty Worm, you have Hillock for that, and if they kill it, then you still want to play. You can still win with Yennefer. About the matchups against Caliga. Forktails in round 1 are great because they typically fill up their board quickly. However, they like to kill off your 1 point units, so if you want to go for a cluster, try to get as many 1 point units on the board in the shortest amount of time possible, without playing different cards in between. Gera Professional is played quite often, so if you need to choose between Yennefer and Glusty, Yennefer is the safer option. Also use your drowners to move their ships to the back row and try to develop your 1 point drones on your back row as well. Against monsters. An enemy Forktail can totally destroy your round 3, so instead of pulling out all 1 point units ASAP, consider playing Arachas Behemoth in between, or keep Witches round 3 to have more than 1 point targets for Yennefer. Try to play Valiant Rider early and use Brewers to have the highest and biggest units on the board, or the enemy may trigger additional effects with their cards. Wait with your Drowners and Wyvern until the enemy plays their 5 units so you can kill them off while keeping yours on the board. Waiting with Forktails until the enemy plays Neckers is also a good way to entirely deny them their value from their Neckers. Against Coratel. Crushing traps can be a big problem, so try to split your Arachas drones onto multiple rows as good as possible. Drowners are good to remove an Elven Swordmaster, which would be able to kill a drone per round. Shiru can actually lose you the game if they hit all your 3 point units, but luckily he isn't played that much at the moment. Other than that, just try to stick to the general game plan. Against Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard has serious trouble to deal with your swarm, but therefore they can push round 1 hard and bleed you in round 2. So ensure that this doesn't happen, and worst case go down a card to be able to swarm them in round 3. They will be able to destroy or reset your Glusty Worm, so focus on swarming the board and buffing them up with Yennefer instead. Don't use Ancient Folklets since the enemy will just lock them away. Against Northern Realms? Sabrina is a loose condition that can hurt a lot, especially if you're not able to destroy her in your own round. Also, you don't have much tools to disrupt their game plan, so be sure to have as many Drowners as possible while keeping above the Whispers to kill off cards like Arctvist. Also, Yennefer is the safer choice than Glusty Worm because of Ike. If you're on red against them, then you can consider keeping hard tempo cards like Witches and Riders to counter their bleed in round 2 while you drain out some engines in round 1. And now, let's look at some gameplay matches. Morven. I mean, Morven has the power to lock some of our units, so let's see what we want to keep. And that's actually okay-ish. We got like 2 tempo cards. which we can use to outtempo him. We can use Drowners if he plays like engines. Forktail in the setup doesn't make too much sense though. Okay, well that was... It was risky to Mulligan Forktail, but like chance to get like the third Witcher was... Now we can't use the Witcher now, which is not that bad because we can Yennefer later maybe. But hey. If I play Drowner now, he'll just use his Slave Drive on it, so I think we just go... Yeah, what do we do actually instead? Because the thing is, we could just go like Arachas Nest, Behemoth, because the thing is you can't like get rid of them that easily right now. The question is if we want to go Yen here. And then we will probably need the temple later. You know what? Let's actually try this. Let's actually go temple right now. There you go. We can go like Yen, we can go Arachas PMF. It will weaken the Glusty Worm later, but we can maybe get like another monster nest. Let's see. And we still have like where are they? The Valhand Riders, and we have Brewers, so we can also like set up like Whispers maybe. So if you place Unicorns, for example. I think Nilfgaard is very ill-equipped to deal with Swarm. They can lock like single units and can remove units. That's not that good because it counters my Yen. We'll see. We'll see how we handle that. Let's play like this. There we go. Then buffed our Arachas drones. We don't have Griffins, so we don't care too much anyway. Like, Brewers will give us another. Okay, let's see. This will be interesting.
I shall now speak.
Okay, Crown, it's hurts. Could have been worse. Could have been like one of those. Question is if we just go Drana now. I mean, like, I'm still waiting for... Also, the question is like what to do with Vesemir. I think we need to Drana Vesemir first. Otherwise, like, we will never get the Valhand Rider out. He's currently 6 units. We currently have 8. Okay, lock is... Well, it's not that bad. Because now we can actually eat something and become the highest unit. There we go. And then Red Drone. Which means we maybe can get a Yennefer work, especially if we get the Valhand Rider out. We'll see. Witches would have been even better now if we get Yennefer here. So playing Yennefer here would actually be, I don't know, I would like to save her. Even though I already set it up. That was not the best play probably, but hey. Let's see if we can get Valhand Rider out next round. Damn it. There's actually no way to get Valhand Rider out probably. Let's get Drana out. We can always take the round with 1 card currently. We probably want to pass though, because we want to keep Yennefer. We still have all charges from the Arachas Queen. We still have Witches. We may want to play Whispers here, but like I would rather keep it for the Unicorn. Oh, he's going all in now, look at this. Yeah, I think this is like the place where it passed. Like 20 points and like he got the Unicorn set up, so... Yeah, it's basically forcing us after round. Question is now, does he want to bleed us or not? I mean, if he wants to bleed us, we have like Rada and Eskel, which is an amazing short run tempo. There goes Witcher, there goes a Rada. Okay, this round is basically forced. The Hillock, we'll see if you find a good Hillock target. We will see. Hillock onto Yen is basically like the best combo here. Let's see if he can pull it off. So, I think we just go Fractal. Then we look at all this combo in the last round to actually set up a good Yen. It's pretty dangerous though, because like we have like Mulligan wise we are now really locked in. We can't Mulligan because we could get Rider or we can get Witches, so Jermaine is amazing. Griffin's amazing. Whew, okay, I'll keep that. There's no reason to mulligan here. No, we keep this. This is amazing. Okay, whew. This could have been gone really worse. Okay, first of all, we get the rat out, of course. Like, we need them out immediately. There we go. We need to be careful now. We have like, wait, we have 1 monster nest, which means 4. We have Jermaine, which means 5. So like, we're probably going to hit roll limits here. Question is if we already kill this, because he doesn't have Unicorn anyway, so this is the only thing we really want to avoid, probably. Can kill an Octwist stuff anyway. So let's get rid of this right. As I said, like Unicorn would have been where I would have kept this spot. Yeah. It's a road, sure. Then I would say we go for Vesemir. We play this onto the back row because we need space on front row for Jermaine. He'll probably have Bonheart where he wants to kill our Glusty Warp. But if you get like double Yennefer, that would be good. Griffin. He's boosting Roach, interestingly. Not sure why though. Because of Vandalite, okay. So we go Jermaine here. After Jermaine we go Arachas Nest, and then we go Glusty. Then we probably go double Yen. Let's see. I mean, like the board is already filled in, so like we're going to have a hard time. We probably don't want to play Forktail at all anymore. Forktail and Yen is like not a good combo, but like Forktail, like in the Foglets, and basically if you have like a board full of like queens of Arachas drones and you play Forktail, like it doesn't hurt you at all. So that's a good thing. Also with Forktail you can set up enemies for better Glusty Warp. But how we are currently playing is, oh, he's another one of those probably. But in the way we're currently playing, we're going to focus on Yennefer, so we don't need that too much. It's basically looking for value here. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to see how the Arachas drones will line up as soon as we play Glusty. Because, like, if you can't play Yen on the range row, we're gonna have a problem. Well, let's see. Also, Whispering Healer onto Jermaine is kind of cool, but, like, in this case, we don't need any more cows. Let's see if he wants to kill some of our ones. He doesn't have the tools for it, really. He can hit 1 or so, but, like, yeah, okay, sure. Okay, let's see. What's the roll limit currently? We currently have 7 and 6. So currently we have 6, 7, 8. Then we play Glusty. This will get destroyed by Leo probably. So this space will be freed up for Yennefer. And then like with the initial Arachas drone we can probably get double off. We'll see. Maybe also Peters it. That would be actually, if he Peters it, that would be worse. I guess then like the space doesn't free up. Oh perfect, he does Leo. Okay. So, okay, let's see. 1, 2, we got like 3, 6, 9, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to play Yennefer, then we're going to play Hillock. There we go. Pretty big Yennefer. And then going to Hillock and get like the board filled. And that means that we probably are not able to play Griffin. Except he makes space on the board, which is good for us. So there we go, double Yennefer. And there we go. Pew, pew. Whew. Yirden would be bad news, but there we go. More Morven, okay. It's Morven day to day. Sure. I mean, it's good for us, like Morven, I think. Like, he can lock the Foglets, which is a problem. Which is probably why I want to get rid of them. One Rider. Oh, and the Witcher. That's actually That's good. That means we can actually get a lot of tempo out in round 1, which is needed because we don't really want to play Yen and we don't want to play Glusterwerp. Also, like Forktail against like Nilfgaard is it's kind of an ability because since you can't like use it to like get the enemies down to 1 for Glusterwerp and you don't have like your Ancient Foglets, like Forktail typically hits you more than like him because you have like better cards or like more cards out there. If you go Drown, he immediately kills it. If you go Drown now, we could like probably get a Valhalla Rider out, but on the other hand, he can use this to deny our Riders. Let's play Riders right away. Let's see. Let's see. You have the boost crown and we have the damage crown. We probably want to play it soon as well, so we have like an answer against this unicorn. He probably will boost it anyway, but you know, so at least we force the boost out. Shit, he plays it too early. Now he can like use the boost immediately. On the other hand, now we can actually play Forktail and it will get us some value. Now actually Drowner is not a bad thing to have. Let's play Drowner right now. If he wants to like kill it now, it's fine. Gives also like gets him more units out on the board. There you go. There is it. And now we go Forktail, and at least we get this Forktail out. We probably could have even waited for the Witches to get even more value, but it would have meant we need to play Whispers. Unicorn. Don't have another Forktail, so we can also play Witcher now. There we go, we're not that far behind, so he doesn't dare to pass here, I guess. And if we go Crones now, then we have like the full package for round 3. Problem is, lift stack is if he drains us in round 2. Drains us? If he bleeds us in round 2. That is a big problem. Yeah, it's just playing the poor mid-range deck. We cannot think of playing just a Crone. Wait, he's at 5. Wait, we have 7. 7, 9 is basically 16. So it would be 28 exactly. 28 on however we can play one of the drones, and then it's fine. So he wants to pass, now we just play one of our leaders unit and Whispers, and then we can pass on him. Perfect. So there we go, another Crone. And then we just play a leader. It's not the intended use, but like, what do I care? Now I can bleed this in round 2, we have less to say, which is good. Which is good. We don't Glusty as last card, but we'll see. So he probably will be able to kill Glusty. I would like to play the Foglets, but... Oh my god, like this is way too much though. Like, we got way too many ones out there. Briz, okay. Briz is currently an 8 because of the free consumes. I need to pass here. I need to seriously think though what I want to play. I probably want to get Griffins. And I probably want to get them instead of the Arachas Nest. Because I have way too much ones here. And he will kill Clusterwork, like. Neckers, I mean they can grow. Okay, this is like... This is a bad hand. Yeah, for sure. Forktail or Neckers. I mean, he will kill one of my... But Forktail won't give me value at all. Yeah, shit. That won't help as well. So we probably play Necker. So Ancient Foglet won't die that easily. We'll see. So here are the Neckers. Go on, Orc them or something. Then play Foglet, then he will like lock them as well, and then we have a lot of ones which don't give us value. Well, not at all, look at this. So I actually can play Wyvern now. Let's do this then. So they grow, they are not as easily killed anymore. You can still Orc them, but then you still got 4 value out of Neckers, which is already better value than Forktail would have been. Because Forktail would have just hit our units. Actually, we could have played Forktail here as well instead of like we could play Ancient Foghat and Forktail, so Forktail would have gotten value. I still have hope that we'll get this off though. So, but with way too many units on the board, we probably should just like fill the board right now, and then see like where we land, because like this will get killed and oh, I'll see. Maybe just play this as the last card as well. Because the win condition is not classed by the end. Yeah, I think we're going to fill the board early. Wait, like the board will be so full, we need to be very careful. It's like 2 Arachas Nest in 1 round is kind of like... Oh, that's the luck, look at this. Okay, let's go. Let's start swarming here. Nice is that the neck is actually a grow. I mean, he already played the Unicorn, right? So, like, a lot of his big value cards are already out here. Okay, that's pretty good. Locking him, you yeah, he basically has both of them still in hand. I'm really curious how we do this though, because space-wise, we only have like 3 more space on the front, and like we need the space on the front. And if you already like use the 4 space here, then like we have a full row here. 4 kill, that is amazing. It's amazing for him. And the good thing for us though is like we can now like we have now like space for Arachas Nest, so it's not that bad actually. Let's see if he can lock it. Oh yeah, of course he can lock it. He has Ox in hand. Never mind me. Never mind me. Let's see if he does it though. He should do. Yeah, Forktail, like, that hit me hard. Let's see. Probably going to play Brewers afterwards to trigger more of the little ones, and then we go Arachas Nest, and then we can still do a good Glusty probably. Yeah, we need to go Brewers immediately. Otherwise, like, this won't be triggered. There we go. Pew pew pew. Maybe he uses, like, his Lefo onto this. If he has Peter and Lefo, yeah.
I'll do as you ask.
Awesome. Yeah, Leo, I mean. So Glusty Worm probably actually would be a good last round play, but yeah. There we go. So next one is Yennefer time. Then we go Yen, Hela, Glusty Worm. Since he's already 8 units on the board, Yen is actually not that good, but we can still get 2 more points here. Actually, I forgot, I need to play Glusty before.
They're dead already.
Even though this will be... even though this will be a target for... you know who. I just hope he didn't draw into Peter. Hope? You can always hope, right? Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew. Okay, there's space for Yen here. Problem is, like, we have how much cards? 6, like 5, 11. Oh shit, he's and he has 10. So value-wise, we don't get that much out of it. Question is if you actually go Yen with damaging, because we won't get as much damage as he does. Damage in this case would actually be probably better. There we go.
You crossed the wrong sorceress.
Because those will get... There we go. And then we can always go Hillig onto Yen. And if he doesn't, then we go Hillig onto Glusty Worm. Because Glusty Worm will also eat like his, right? So maybe just go Hillig onto Glusty. Ah shit, he actually boosted it.
Sometimes I've had it.
Well, we don't care about this. So the question here is, what is more value? Again, it's killing, right? Because... yeah, it's definitely killing. So we go... oh wait, or Glusty. Starter units with 1 power for each booster slug. So it's like basically we get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 points. That would already be enough. Let's go cluster. Actually, we get 1 more because of the... Yeah, there we go. Look at this, guys. Ah, beautiful. We played into Leo and Peter. Big thanks to all my patrons who support me and make this possible, but also thanks to all of you who watched this video. Check out my Patreon link in my video description to learn about what you can get for supporting me as well, like gifted Twitch subs, postcards, and way more. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more in-depth Gwent guides, and see you in-game.